Okay, everybody's slowly coming on, so I appreciate you guys being here. I'll go ahead and just spotlight myself and then we'll just get into it. Okay, so I appreciate you guys hopping on. This is my pitch for the Self-Storage Fund of America. All right, so I'm not sure if you guys know who I am or not, but I'm going to introduce myself so that you guys know if you haven't followed me or not. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to get into the Self-Storage Fund of America portal, which is where you need to be if you're interested in putting money into the fund. And then after that, I'll go over like the deals that we're working on. And on top of that, I will go over the financial model. All right, so you guys can put your numbers in, this kind of thing. Okay, so good. Everybody's slowly hopping on. I'm gonna get a Kleenex here because my nose is running just a little bit. I kind of started just like as of yesterday afternoon, I started getting a little bit of a cold, so I apologize. I don't know what's going around, but my daughter was sick and then I got sick, so just bear with me. Okay. All right, I appreciate you guys coming and listening today. So this is going to be the pitch on me talking about the Self-Storage Fund of America. And this fund is a 506c Reg D fund. And I put this fund together because my husband and I, we own 12 storage facilities outside of the fund. And all of the facilities that we bought were like $1 million or less. Right. So they weren't like super big, huge facilities. And then I was talking to my coach like a couple of years ago, and he basically was saying, like, Stacey, you should really start, you should do a fund and you should start doing some bigger deals and stuff. And I was like, what, you're right. I'm ready to move on. So started working on putting this fund together, and it took me like a good year to put it together and everything. But so in the storage world, if you haven't invested in self-storage before, the way that it works is there's like the $1 million or less like types of facilities and investors. And then there's like the $1 to $3 million investors. And then there's like $3 million plus. That's kind of how it's segmented. And the 3 million plus is not what we do at all. So we buy, like my husband, his name is Pete, and we buy our facilities in secondary and tertiary markets. We do not buy in primary market. And typically 3 million plus can get you into like a primary market for one facility, right? Now, obviously, like if you have a lot of facilities, maybe it's, you could get like, for instance, like we have several facilities that we do as like mini portfolios, and it'd be more expensive to buy those. But one facility for $3 million in the secondary market is kind of few and far between, especially in a tertiary market. And tertiary just means like country. Okay. So now the $1 to $3 million facilities, this is what I call the sweet spot. It's the sweet spot for us because the truth is like my husband and I, we buy like severely mismanaged facilities. A mismanaged facility is a facility that is like not being managed properly, which, would make a lot of sense, but there's not a lot of renovations and work to them. I mean, maybe you paint the buildings or something, or something like this, but there's no renovations and storage, right? It's all about how you manage your properties. It's, really asset management. And so we were like, for our own personal first 12 facilities, we were basically property managers of the assets that we owned. Okay. And then the $1 to $3 million, like the $1 to $3 million facilities, these, especially if you're buying a mismanaged facility, these are very hard to fund. So a mismanaged facility is a facility that is not producing the income that it should be producing, which every facility that I've ever bought is like not producing what it should be producing. So for instance, one of the ones that we bought in the fund, we picked it up for $1 million, and I'll show you pictures and stuff, but we picked it up for $1 million. The owner was making $108,000. He was making about $8,000 a month. And when we ran the numbers, we came up with $20,000 to $23,000 a month that he should be making. Right. So he was happy at $8,000 a month. He had owned the property for 15 years. And he was just tooting around, that's what he did, is he managed this property and by himself, and he made $8,000 a month, and it only cost, you know, a little bit of money to manage the property. So he was happy with his $8,000. Okay. And then when we bought the facility, you know, we raised the rates and pissed a lot of people off because he was charging $20 for a 10 by 10, and he should have been charging $100 for a 10 by 10. All right. So we piss a lot of people off. We get all the people out that don't want to pay $100, and then we have to like lease up and like get it leased up. And that's the hardest part of the whole process, is actually, doing the marketing, managing the property, and getting it leased up. Okay. So that would be considered a severely mismanaged facility. And actually every single facility that we buy, all 16 facilities that we own, are all severely mismanaged facilities. Okay. And the one that I'm trying to raise the money for right now, this is a severely mismanaged facility. And so we're just like, we can't go to a bank and get a loan on this. In fact, I talked to several lenders about this deal, and they're just like, no, we would never fund this deal. Right. And so that's where you guys come in. Right. That's why this fund was created. Is that, it's like a $1 to $3 million facility that is, that banks will not fund, and I can only really pay cash for them, or I could do some sort of like creative deal structure for them. And I do creative deal structures, but for facilities and stuff, but it has to be one or the other. And that is why this fund is created. So you guys can help me buy these facilities, and then I'll buy the facility. For instance, like this $1 million facility I bought is really valued at $3 million plus. It's gonna be valued way more than that because we're adding more income and doing a whole bunch of stuff. But it's really valued at like 3 million plus. So we can take a $1 million property and really turn it into a $3 million property. Just by increasing the rates and just getting it leased up and stuff. But the truth is like, to do that, it really takes a lot of time and effort, right? So with an income producing property or a bigger facility, let's just say you look at a facility that's $5 million, got X amount of income coming in, you can raise the rates a little bit, you get a little bit of appreciation on the back end, right? I mean, those are income producing properties. Everybody wants those properties. Everybody wants that property, you don't have a lot of work, but the properties that we buy, like nobody wants to buy them because it's like way too much work. But the truth is the upside is really, really good on them. So you can get like 50 cents on the dollar for a property, and then you can really just fix it up, make it look good, lease it up, and then, sell it in like 2 to 3 years. You just get either refi it and hold on to it if you want to, or you can like just sell it. Right. And in fact, we're selling 3 of our properties right now in Atlanta, and we've only owned them for maybe 3 years, something like this. So really not a lot of time. It didn't take us a long time to get those things stabilized at all. And we bought those for, all 3 of those properties we bought for $600,000, and we're selling them for $1.6 million. So we're gonna make $1 million on the deal. And all we did was just really kind of fix them up a little bit. We painted one. We put some gravel down on one, but we really just got them leased up to the prices that they should be at. Okay. So that is what we're doing with this fund. Okay. So just to give you guys and so when I say, like, if you're interested in investing in a fund, then, and then one of the things that you're thinking about is like, okay, I want to put my money into a fund, but I also really need some cash flow. Like right now, this is going to be a fund that probably doesn't fit your buy box, because the cash flow, like for us, it takes, 18 to 24 months to stabilize these properties. Okay. And so you have to give us some time to stabilize them. They're typically not making that much money. And so, you have to give us some time to stabilize them. So sometime within a year to 18 months, you'll start making quarterly distributions on the facilities. But it just takes a little time for us to get to that point. So you have to be patient. The good thing is that once we either sell them in 2 years, 2 to 3 years, or we refi them out in 2 to 3 years, you get a big, huge chunk of money back, right? And then if we, like, let's just say we try to refi a property, let's say in 2 years, and then we hold on to it for another 3 years, you'll get another chunk of money when we sell it in 3 years back. Okay. So that's kind of how this fund is working. I'm going to show you that in the financial model and stuff, but I just wanted to give you all a heads up. That's kind of how it's working. I try to be really clear about, just what type of deals that we're buying, so when you come in as an investor, you understand that a severely mismanaged facility takes time to stabilize. This is not a fund where I'm going to buy a 50,000 square foot facility and you're going to you're going to get a distribution within, 90 days or something. Because it just doesn't work like that with these deals. And I'll show you what they look like just to give you an idea. And if you have any questions as I'm going along, all you have to do is just unmute yourself and ask. Okay. So this is meeting style. So you can just unmute yourself. Okay. And my husband works with me. So his name is Pete. So the way that we separate our companies is find them, fund them, run them. Okay, so finding them is my job. I don't have any issues with finding facilities to buy, honestly, because I have 10 virtual assistants that work for me and they do nothing but call owners and see if they want to sell their facilities. We have so many, we have seven facilities under contract right now. I'm not going to buy all of them, but because we find them for my students as well too. But the truth is that like we have no issues with finding with facilities. If I wanted to find a facility to buy that would be a mismanaged facility that I could like triple the value of the property on, I could do that super easy. But I just I can only do so much at a time. So a lot of times I'll find them for my students as well. Okay. All right. So that's that. And then, and then my husband, he is the one that runs the facilities. Okay. So he has a team underneath him and he manages this team. And then eventually, if you decide to come in and invest with us, you'll meet Bonnie. And Bonnie is our COO. She's been with us now for like 7 years, and she really kind of manages the facility. She manages all the in-house staff. She manages the boots on the ground people. Pete's higher up than her, but she kind of just manages everything. She can do a lot of stuff and juggle a lot of things at one time. And then underneath her, we have like 2 or 3 in-house like office people that really help us with we have one person that does that all she does is that all. So we have one person, his name is Jim. All he does is onboarding. So onboarding for us is like when we get a facility under contract, we get everything ready for closing day, which really means that you want to be able to take payments on closing day, right? You want to be able to say, look, okay, we own this facility. Now we need to get the contract signed and take payments. But you have to do a lot of stuff in the to do that. We call that onboarding. So it's a lot of like just getting ready for the closing day, getting ready for when we own the facility. So we have one in-house person that does that for us because we're buying so many facilities at one time. So it's like, we just closed on 2 facilities, like 500 doors, so to prepare for 2 facilities, it's like a lot of work, so that's what Jim does. And then we have Steph, and Steph has been working with us for a while now too. And what she does is once we close on the facility, she's the one that chases the tenants for us. So she's our like professional tenant chaser. As soon as we close on the facility, her job is to get a hold of the tenants, let them know that we're the new owners of the facility, and that she gets them into the system, gets their payment information from them and gets them to sign the contract. That's her job. So she's like, all she does is just chase tenants around and tries to get them to sign the contract. Okay, that's a lot of work, especially we got like 2,000 tenants. That's a lot of work, right? And then we have Charmaine, and Charmaine is our she does quotes and stuff like this for us. So like when we buy our facilities, like if we're going to buy this one that we're going to buy at the end of June, it doesn't need a lot of work, but it does need some work. We might need to get it power washed or get it painted, or we need maybe get some latches fixed or whatever, whatever it is. So she's the one that like calls around and gets all the quotes for everything. So, because we have 16 facilities, if you think about it, like all of them need something done with them, right? So we have one person in house that kind of manages, getting all of the materials that we need so that we can give them to the boots on the ground person so that they can, either do that work, or if like, let's say like one of our facilities right now needs a new fence because it's falling down. So like she calls around and gets fence quotes and stuff, that kind of stuff. So it's in-house. And then we also have, we have 2 people that answer the phone. We have one person during the week and then one person on the weekends. And then we have like an after hours service that does it in the evening time. So our phones are always answered 24/7, but those are all like in-house as well too. So, and then we have all the boots on the ground people, right? Because we have 16 facilities, one in Tennessee, and then we have like, 10 in Georgia, or no, 12 in Georgia, 3 in Florida, something like that. Okay. So we have like a lot of boots on the ground people really to manage and go out and overlock and clean up the units and put the trash out and this kind of stuff. Maybe do some little maintenance things. So Bonnie manages really kind of what they need. Pete's the one that hires them and like trains all of them and gets them going and stuff. So it's a pretty good system. We've kind of got it down actually. And now it's just, working on getting all these facilities leased up, figuring out what prices they are and stuff like that. But we're completely vertically integrated. We manage everything ourselves. We do not outsource anything. We manage everything ourselves outside of like bigger jobs like fences or whatever or something like that. Because we don't want our boots on the ground person to do that. But like typically most stuff we just do we do it ourselves. Okay. So for instance, we painted a building, we painted one of our facilities and our boots on the ground person painted it. So it saves a lot of money that way as well too, to do that rather than, hiring out somebody to do that. Okay. All right. So if we got find them, fund them, run them. So find them, I do funding. Obviously, you see me here. I'm the one that raises all the money, asks people to give me money. And then my husband runs the facilities. That is how our whole process works. Okay. And then, so now what I wanted to show you too is let me go to the Self-Storage Fund of America. I'm going to put this into the chat because this is what y'all need to click on, and y'all need to create an account. Okay. Because I want you guys to be able to go in here and see all this. Okay. This is what it's going to look like. But in here is the PPM. So you want to be able to look at the PPM, and the PPM, if you haven't invested in the fund yet, the PPM is like the Bible of the fund. It's like all the rules, all the regulations, how it's set up, how it's operated, everything that you need to know is in here. So you could just scroll through and read it. I highly recommend that you check this out, read it. And we have a fund manager. His name is Adam. He's a CPA and he manages our fund. He does a great job. He follows these rules in this PPM. That's his job. All right. And so you can come in, the operating agreement is in here. Everything is in here. All right. Also, you can also go to documents. All right. Right here in the top right corner is documents, and you can click on the supporting documents. So this is where we put all of our documents. But also everything that you need is here as well too. So you could see like the accredited investor information, articles of incorporation, the financial model is here, the investor presentation, the offering extension, the operating agreement. I'm going to download the investor presentation. And then every one of the facilities that we have in the fund will always have an executive summary. So we'll download these executive summaries here. I'm going to download the financial model, download all of the executive summaries, and then go to the second page. You could see the PPM is also here if you wanted to download it. Quarterly report and meeting is here, and then also the subscription is here. Okay. Now the subscription, if you guys do decide to invest, the subscription would be just down right underneath here. You see there's steps 1, 2, and 3. You could do electronically. You can sign the subscription electronically, okay, which is the easier way to do it. And you can see that there's 3 subscriptions. There's the individual, the custodial, and then the entity. So individual is like you and a spouse or you and a partner, right? And then the custodian is like if you're doing a 401k or if you're lending from your IRA or 401k or something like that. And then the entity is like if you're lending from your company. Okay, so there's 3 different subscriptions. Just click on this. Once you click on it, it takes you to DocuSign and you can sign everything electronically. And also in the subscription is where you put your bank account information. So we know where to send you money once we we start doing our distributions and everything. Okay. And then this is where you would upload your accreditation letter. So this is a 506c Reg D fund, right? So you have to be an accredited investor to invest. A 506c fund is like where you have to be an accredited investor. A 506b fund is open to non-accredited investors, okay? But this one just happens to be a 506c, so you have to be able to approve that. An accredited investor just means that you have either $1 million in net worth, or you make either $200,000 or $300,000 a year, depending on how you file your accounts, okay? And then finally, step 3, you can see here, transfer your funds. And this is where you get the wire instructions, the mailing instructions. Now this wire and mailing instructions is also in the subscription as well too. Okay. So you can find it there. I just wanted to point that out. And then at the bottom, you could see all the documents that we just went over. Those are all there. Those are all here. We also do weekly news updates. We try to give you a weekly update, letting you know what's happening on, one of the facilities. It's really kind of a monthly update per facility, but we do it on a weekly basis. Here's the 3 assets that we own so far, and we're working on our 4th one to close on June 30th. That is where you guys come in. Hopefully I can convince you to put some money into the account and to the fund so that we can buy that one. All right, so that's the self-storage fund of America. That's the portal. Let me just open up the all of these things here so that we can go over these. This one is a Beacon. And what's this one? Max. Okay. Here's the model. Here's this one, Able. Here is, let me show this in the folder. Which one did I do? Okay, here's the presentation. Perfect. Okay, let me share my screen to this one now. Okay. All right, so this is the investor presentation. I just downloaded this directly from the portal. So if you want to take a look at this, y'all can take a look at this as well too. It's right there in the supporting documents. But the one thing I wanted to do is just go over. I kind of sort of went over a lot of this already. I just told you guys most of it, but this is the actual presentation for it. Okay, so yeah, we're trying to raise around $7 million, $7.8 million. The targeted IRR is 19%, and the hold period is 5 years. Okay, whatever amount of money you put, just know that we'll hold it. We could hold it up to 5 years. And then the preferred return is 10%. So whatever amount of money that you put into the fund, you will get a 10% return on. Which actually, I mean, the truth is like with mismanaged facilities, I mean, I'm typically paying anywhere from 8 to 10% interest, even on my personal ones as well too, when I do the personal ones. So this amount of return is really not a big deal. Now it's a great return for nowadays, right? You can't get a return like that hardly anywhere, but just so you know, this is like a typical return for us because we buy mismanaged facilities. We have to pay like a higher interest rate. There's also a waterfall. I'll go over the waterfall in just a second, but a waterfall essentially just means like the hurdles, like not the hurdles, the milestones of the deal, right? When we achieve a milestone, then us as the GP, we're the asset managers of the group. We get a bonus, which they call a promote. Okay, so we'll go over that here in just a second. And then also the quarterly returns. As soon as we have enough money to pay everybody, I will pay everybody and distribute on a quarterly basis. All right. But remember, just know that it takes 9 months, 12 months, plus in order to make money on these deals because they're in such disarray. Okay, we are contributing 4% we are contributing 4% us as well. So Pete and myself, once we close on a deal, we'll just put 4% in. Okay. And then 20 and then the promote, again, we'll go over that, is the 20% after 10% preferred return up to 15% IRR or 25% thereafter. The minimum is 25,000. All right, to put in, and then but you have to be an accredited investor. Okay, so here's the waterfall. This is what I was trying to explain. So here's your preferred return 10%. If we only hit 10% or less, then the split is a 96-4 split, right? 4% for us putting in, and then 96% for y'all. If we go anywhere above 10% to 15%, this is a 76-4-20 split. So 20% to y'all, sorry, not to y'all, 20% to us as the sponsors, or sorry, as the asset managers, and then 4% to us as the sponsor, and then 76% to us, so to y'all, I'm sorry, to y'all for the split, for the leftover, okay? And then if we can get above 15% IRR, then it's a 71% split to y'all, 4% to us, and 25% for us as the GPs. Okay. And let's see, then finally, there's a few fees, but not too many. One of them is a 0.625% fee for the gross of the gross purchase price per year. All right, so like if we buy $1 million property, then we get paid $6,250 each year. Okay, and then for managing it, and then the acquisitions fee is 0.50% of the gross purchase price. Okay, so that's like a one-time fee. We have not taken the money out for this for any of the deals yet, because I want to keep all the money in as much as I can to buy the next deal, so we haven't paid ourselves or anything like that. Okay, and then you could just go through the rest of the presentation. I've already talked about all this. This is how we run our facilities and things like that. You can see some of the pictures of our storage facilities. You can see case studies. You can see our storage facilities that we have. And then this is me and my husband. Okay, and then there's 1, 2, 3. Let me open one more of these real fast. Show in the folder. Okay, so the very first facility, yeah, this is it, that we bought was this one right here, American Mini Storage. It looks like this, it's kind of up on a hill, but it's not like a big hill or anything. And this is like this is an apartment up here, and this is a garage, and then there's like an office right here. We haven't done anything really with this. So we still, this could be extra income, but we haven't really done anything with it yet. We've cleaned it out. That's really what we've done. This is the indoor climate control. There is an indoor climate control there. And it's a very nice facility. I mean, nothing's wrong with it. I mean, it's a very nice facility, honestly. He just wasn't charging what he should be charging. On the property, there's a house. Like this house, there's a lady that's living there. She's leaving actually at the end of this month. And she was paying $400 a month. She lived there for 10 years at $400 a month. On this property, we're going to get it as soon as she leaves. The month of June, we're getting this thing fixed up. Like, we already got a handyman all ready to go. He's going to fix them, just clean it up, fix it up, maybe paint a little bit. And then we're going to rent this thing out for $1,500 a month. Isn't that crazy? Like $1,000 more a month that he was just like leaving on the table because he didn't want to piss the lady off. And then over here, this is a field. Like, we cleared all this. We had somebody come in, bush hog this whole area, super nice, clean area now. We have somebody coming in to lay some gravel down, kind of flatten it a little bit. It's going to cost a little bit of money to do that. And then we are going to be parking boat and RV storage there. We already got the sign being made, and we're going to start really pushing boat and RV parking, uncovered boat and RV parking over here. So Pete's in the process of getting all that done. And that is going to add another $1,000 a month, which we did not run numbers on. We did not run numbers on this spot, and we didn't even run numbers on this. So that's another $1,500 to $1,000, so $2,500 a month. You're not even going to see those in the numbers because we just were trying to figure out what we're going to do. We only ran the numbers on the storage. That's the house. All right. So Blairsville, like it's a little tiny town in the North Georgia mountains. I don't know if anybody knows where it's at, but it's like growing so fast. But really, there's about 30,000 people in the 10-mile radius. So it's not really that small. It's a cute little town. Y'all should go visit it. It's a good town to go visit. This area is gorgeous in Georgia, the North Georgia mountains. Okay, so this is the property. It's got the storage. It's got another like 0.5 acres that we haven't figured out what to do with yet. And then it's got, this is the area that we cleared out and we bush hogged it. And this is where we're gonna do the parking. We'll probably fit like 2 rows of 5 RVs is what you could fit here. So 10 units, 10 at, you know, at maybe $75 a month, maybe something like that is what we're thinking. Okay. There's the house right here. There's a barn that just is full of like the old owner's crap. He hasn't cleaned it out yet. He said eventually one day he'll get to it. Okay, so there's that. And this is it. And then this is the climate control here, and here's some storage. There's actually enough space to put another one right here. We were thinking about adding just like 2 more buildings right here. So we're still working on, you know, trying to do that. But there's a lot of opportunity on this thing. And we only ran the numbers on the storage. That's it, nothing else. So let me show you the numbers real fast. And then I'll show you kind of how we run our numbers and look at everything too. So, okay. So here is the numbers. This is, we picked it up for $1 million. He was making $116,000 a year. He gave us our tax returns, you know, and we just paid cash for this. We just raised $1 million. We bought it for exactly what it was worth. You see, it's worth $1 million. We bought it at a 7 cap. It's 22,200 square feet. He was at 52 cents a square foot, and he should be at 99 cents a square foot. Right now we're about 85 cents a square foot, and we're trying to get it filled up because we raised the rents. We raised the rents to 85 cents from 52 cents. So we pissed a lot of people off, and a lot of people left. We're about 50% full right now. And so now we're just leasing up. You know, it's typically, you know, you typically get about 4 new tenants a month on average. So it just takes some time to lease up, but it's all cleaned out. All the auctions are done. I mean, now it's just lease up mode. But you can see just for the storage, the 22,000 square feet of storage, it's worth $2.8 million at 99 cents a square foot. This can be our goal, is to get it to there. And you know, it's going to take us about 24 months to get it to there. So we're working on that. And let's see what else. And so then remember, that does not include the $2,500 that we're getting from the house or the RV parking, which we're going to have somebody move in on the 1st of August for the house. And then the RV parking is we're going to start leasing up the 1st of August. So, you know, so we're kind of working on that. Okay, so that's that one. Let me go to the next one. Oh, wait, that's not what I wanted. This one right here. Yeah. Okay, so this one right here is the next one that we bought. All right, this is in Macon, Georgia. If anybody knows Macon, it's like right dead center Georgia. We buy all of our facilities. We live in Tallahassee, so we buy facilities like Georgia, Florida area is kind of where we're at, so we can get to all of them. And so yeah, so this is like 170 doors. The owner, this is the ugliest storage facility in Macon. We picked it up, 170 doors with a little warehouse right here. And then also he painted it blue. I guess he was trying to make it look good, but then he ran out of paint, so he never painted those. And but we got it all lit up. We've got the fencing, the gate all fixed. You know, we're in the process now of getting this painted. And then also on top of that, this building right here, we're working on building units out inside for indoor storage that we're going to be able to sell at a premium rate as well too. And just slowly getting it fixed up and leased up. I mean, it does a lot of doors broken and all kinds of stuff. So it just needs a lot of work is what it needs. But yeah, so it's in I guess, you know, Dawsonville is like a little tiny town in between Macon and Warner Robins. You can see the growth rate is at 4.5. It's growing very well. And there's 38,000 people within a 5-mile radius. That's a good area. There's a storage facility. Here's our competition. There's 3 storage facilities over here in this area. And they're all at like $85 for a 10 by 10 is where they're at. All 3 of them the same price for 10 by 10s. That's kind of what we do, is look at a 10 by 10. And this is our facility right here. right? And you can see, yeah, here it is. So here's this property with the buildings on it. And the good thing is that we also got this property included as well. So the total is 6 acres. This takes up about 2 acres right here. And then this property over here is 4 acres. You can come in the back too if you wanted to. There's like a little road in the back that you can come in and it comes right to your property. Pete's gonna just clear this area out. Once we get this done, he's gonna start doing boat and RV parking is what he's gonna do. We may even do some covered parking. We're gonna try to figure that out. But for now, we're just fixing this place up. All right, so this is it. We picked this one up for $375,000. It wasn't making any money at all. It was making $1,000 a month, if that. And so 14,000 a year. Only 92 of the 170 doors were usable. So we ran the numbers on 92, which is 6,000 square feet. But once we get the fixed, we'll have 170 doors at almost 20,000 square feet. We ran the numbers at 78 cents a square foot because we wanted to be a little bit conservative to the $85. But you could see it's 88% vacant. So this was almost completely abandoned storage facility. The owner was really running it to the ground. And so we picked it up for $375,000. Once we get it to, 8 to 10% full, it's worth $2 million. So we just have to get it cleaned up, looking nice, and then we got to lease it up. We really got to push, for lease ups and stuff. And then at the same time, we'll be working in the back and trying to figure out some parking situation, see what we could do back there too. But you can see we're taking it from a -2 cap to a 24% cap rate. So very, very good. We put $200,000 in CapEx, but the truth is like, it's not going to really cost that much because it's really not, honestly. It just needs paint and stuff. We thought it was going to be more doors, but it ended up just not. Our boots on the ground person is fixing a lot of stuff themselves. So it's looking pretty good. Okay, that's that one. And then we got the Beacon storage, is the third one that we bought. So when you look at the financial model and I show you that, you're going to see that there's 3 facilities on the financial model. There's the first 2 I just showed you, and then this one. And that's what the numbers on the financial model show. We have not put the 4th one on the financial model yet because we haven't bought it. I need to buy it. I need money to buy it, and then we'll put the numbers on. But so Beacon Storage is in Leesburg, Florida. Leesburg is like just south of Orlando. It's like a suburb of Orlando. It's like maybe like with traffic, it's 45 minutes. Without traffic, it's like 30 minutes. Okay. So it would be considered a secondary market. Okay, all of these are like, I would say Blairsville I would consider to be like a tertiary market, and then Max is a secondary market. That's Macon, and then this is a secondary market. Okay, and so let me see here. This is it. Oh yeah, this is the building. It's a beautiful building. How beautiful that is. So it's actually a conversion. Okay, so the owner converted this facility into storage. There's 150 doors. This is all storage in the back. This space up here is commercial space, commercial retail. And so this space is now, everything is all cleaned up. This building, we owned this for a couple of weeks. Building is painted, commercial space is ready, and the tenant is moving in. So on the 1st of June. Which is good. So we're gonna be managing this commercial space, but then mostly, trying to get this thing filled up because the owner lives in New York and he manages this thing and he's just not getting it filled up at all. He's just not doing a good job. So we already hired a boots on the ground person to come in and help us get this cleaned up and everything. And they're doing a really good job helping us get it organized inside and stuff because it's kind of a little, it's kind of crazy, but it's a good property. This is also like within 3 miles, there's 27,000 people. There's only 3 other storage facilities that do climate control, and they really don't do a lot of climate control. So we have kind of the lead in the market as well too for climate control in this area. So this is the building right here. Let me see if here it is. Let me see, pull it up. Yeah. This is the space right here, this space right here. And it even has this parking space included as well. and we're going to try to figure out what to do. Like we're going to park. We have somebody that has already asked if they could park their RVs here because they're running out of space. So we're probably going to figure that. We're trying to figure that out, but we're fixing the gate. We're going to, you know, fixing the fencing and stuff like that. Just getting it all fixed up right now, and it's looking pretty good. And then let's see. The commercial, and this is the building itself. It's all painted. I'm going to show you some pictures of it being painted. This is like when we bought it, but this is the inside. It's not bad. So it's all nice inside. I mean, commercial, it doesn't look bad at all. There's Pete, there's Lily and my daughter. And let's see. Let's see if I can find this is all the competition is what this is. I'm going to get down to the numbers. Now this one here, I got this one owner finance. Okay. So, you know, basically we picked it up for $2.4 million. He was making $108,000. And then he should be making $205,000. It was 143 units at 10,200 square feet. Okay, and and remember, this is climate control. So climate control is roughly, you know, on average in America around $2 a square foot, something like this, you know, $175 to $2 a square foot. So we ran our numbers at like, you know, 175, 180 is what we did. And we're coming out to 50, and it's 50% full is where it's at. They did not have hardly any website. In fact, the one thing that was really crazy about this facility is that it's a climate control and they were only open 9 to 4 Monday through Fridays. All right. So there's no security, no cameras, nobody can go in, no keypad. So that's the first thing that we've already got quotes for, is just putting in a keypad so that people can go in and out 24/7. But the owner like never invested any money into doing that. He didn't want to put any money into this deal at all. So that was why we got it. Now we convinced the owners to owner finance this. Okay. So we ended up getting we get it for 2.4 million. This is the owner financing number one. This is how we make our offers and stuff. But it's 2.4 million at 30% down, 5% interest for 2 years, interest only payments. So we had to come up with 700 grand. I raised the money to do 700 grand. The monthly payment is $7,000 a month. That's the interest. And our cash on cash return is 26% cash on cash return. All right. So it's a great deal. And I have 2 years to get this stabilized. And after 2 years, we'll either refi it out or we'll, you know, sell it. We'll see what happens. You know, but the property is worth almost $5 million. I mean, it's going to be worth at least $5 million once we get it done, because we're going to add the RV parking. We've got all the commercial space. So there's a lot of upside in this. So this is what it looks like. Yeah. So these are the numbers. So these are all, and again, just to remind you, these are the executive summaries that are in the portal. So you have access to all of these summaries as well. Okay. Now, this is the one that I'm trying to raise the money for. This is such a great deal. So hopefully you guys can put a little bit of money in so I can buy this. Anything helps, all right? But the minimum is 25,000. And so this is a building. Let me show you the side. Yeah, this is a building. It's included onto the property. It's 20,000 square feet. I did not put the numbers of this for this building in there because he's only charging $500 a month for each of those. And he really should be charging like $2,000 a month. If we were going to rent these out, these are 2,000 square feet of like commercial space. It should be around $1 a square foot, but he's owned this property for so long, he's never raised the rents. He's charging only $500 a month. He says he can make $5,000 a month just on this is what he does. And he's happy with that. Okay. And these are all filled. All 9 of these are filled at $500. And they've all been there for like 10 years or something, you know, and he's never raised the rents. All right. But this would be perfect space for wouldn't this be perfect for like a climate control? This would be a perfect space for climate control. All right. But we only ran our numbers on these storage units right here. It's a very nice facility. We were over there just a couple of weeks ago, walked the property with the owner again, and very nice property. It needs to be power washed maybe a little bit, you know, something like that. But like, not honestly, you know, a couple doors maybe broke, but that was it. This is in Carrollton, which is like a suburb outside of Atlanta. We actually own a facility in Fairburn, Noonan, and Franklin. And we have another one in Fayetteville. Like, so to add this one to the portfolio is like not a big deal for us. Okay, here's the property. This is what it looks like. And let's see right here. Okay, and then this is there's 44,000 people within a 5-mile radius. I mean, it's a very good location. I mean, Carrollton is growing super fast. And this is the number. So we picked it up for 1.4 million. This owner has 3 companies, and what he was doing was commingling his funds. So when you look at he showed me his P&L and his balance sheet, but you cannot tell how much money he's making or like what is going on, because he's just like transferring money back and forth. His like, honestly, his QuickBooks is so bad. It is so bad. You know, and people like owners don't understand that if you don't keep your P&L and your balance sheet clean, like all you're doing is just screwing yourself over. You know, but a lot of people don't care about that. Every facility we ever bought, nobody's ever cared about that. But he does use SiteLink. So SiteLink is a software that manages storage facilities or manages like storage. And so he uses it, and he can prove that on SiteLink that he makes $150,000 a year. I mean, he showed me his last year's numbers, and he was making $150,000 a year on this property. On the units only himself was 175 doors, 25,000 square feet of storage, but he's 30% vacant. Right, so he's at 69 cents a square foot, and he should also be around 95 cents a square foot. I mean, he should be at almost $1 a square foot. I mean, it's like it's a secondary market, it's right outside of Atlanta. So we picked it up for what it was worth, which is $1.4 million. All right, all we need to do is raise the rents to get it filled up to 95 cents a square foot to be worth over $3 million. This number does not include that building. The building is like a bonus for us. What are we going to do with that building? Are we going to leave it and just, make $5,000 a month and maybe raise the rents a little bit? And those are 2,000 square foot units with like a full bathroom, like a bathroom in there and everything, and a little bathroom kitchenette. So we could rent those out as just commercial space, at maybe $1,500, clean them up, or we could just get rid of all that and do like indoor climate control as well. So we'll have to figure that out, but that'll be a bonus. Once we get these destabilized and stuff, then we'll start figuring out what to do with that building. Okay. And that's here as well too. Okay. All right. And then finally, we have the financial models. If you have any questions, just let me know. Okay, I'm here. But I wanted to show you one last thing, which is the financial model. You have access to this financial model in the portal. Okay. Now, when you open up this financial model, I just want to make sure I'm sharing the right screen. Yeah, that's right. Okay. So when you open up this financial model, all you have to do is just put in how much money you're going to invest and when you're going to invest in it. Okay. And then after that, you'll be able to, it'll show you, like this one right here says $100,000 by the end of the month. Okay, so you're in at 100,000 and you're out at 341,000. Okay, and then here, let me see. Yeah, so here is where you'll be able to, see all the numbers. You'll be able to see when you're getting your return. Let me see, hang on. Right here, yeah, how much money you're going to be making and when on the quarterly basis. So if you put $100,000 in now, by the end of the year, you would make $2,389. That's quarterly. By 3/31/1200, and then based on whether or not we refine, see, you can see we're refining out these facilities here, right? Then you can, you would either get a distribution when we refi it out, or or when we sell it on the back end. You can see like this one on this configuration here, we're selling Leesburg. All right, we're selling this here, and then we're like refining these two out. Okay, and that's here. And then also down here, you can see like your returns, like how it's going to look. right here. So you're negative $100,000 up until 9/1 of 2024. Then you're starting to make your money back is what you're trying to do. Okay, you're just, you're making this and then you're coming back here. That's kind of what it's showing. Okay, now you can play around with this and just look at all the numbers and stuff is what you can do. Okay, and then here's all your distributions, when you're going to get them, etc., how much it's going to get. And then Blairsville, and actually each one of these facilities are right here. So Blairsville is the first one I went over that we bought for $1 million. And you can see, they're all the same. They all kind of look the same, but you can see like how much money we bought them for, distributions, or sort of equity in, renovation costs, we're all in here. This is what it was making at the time of purchase. And then this is like 18 plus months, like how long it's going to take us to get to these NOI. So this is the NOI when we bought it, and this is the NOI that we're taking it to. Right. And remember, this is just for the storage. It does not include the house or the RV parking. And let's see what else. And then here's the improvements, how long it's going to take us to get filled up. And then like here's, unit mixes, and here's the refi. This is refi right here. In 24 months, we refi it out at a 7% interest. And this is what it looks like. There's $1 million, distribution or $1.1 million distribution that we share. Okay. And then the exit strategy, you make another almost $1 million on the exit strategy. And then here's the hurdles, right? So you've got, and this is like, if, this is just with the 10%. Remember, this is the 15% and then above 15%. Okay. And so this is the waterfall, hurdle 1, hurdle 2, etc. And then here's hurdle 3 above 15%. And this is the distributions, and this is how much money you would make based on each of the hurdles. Okay. And you could just scroll over and you could take a look at like, what the numbers look like, etc., for each facility. Okay. And it looks exactly the same for, you could see the hurdles are right here. You could see the refis right here for Macon, and you could see the refi out, and then the distributions. And then here is the returns. Okay. And then also the same thing for Leesburg. That's the third one that we have. Here's the money in. Here's the historicals. This is what it was making right here. This is what it's supposed to be making. And then here's the improvements. Here's the refi. Here's the distributions. And then right here is all the hurdles. So you can look and see everything. So you can look through the model if you want to see the numbers. Now, obviously, these are assumptions, okay? And we will update this on a quarterly basis. So as you go through and work with us, we'll do quarterly meetings. What I do is I typically send out a monthly email update to all the investors, letting you know what we did for the month. And then on a quarterly basis, we'll meet and we'll just go over like, everything that we've been doing. You'll be able to meet Pete, you'll be able to meet Adam, the whole team will be there. So you could be able to ask them questions and just kind of see how we're doing on everything. Okay. But again, it just takes us time to just to stabilize these things. We're buying severely mismanaged facilities, so you just have to be a little bit patient. The one thing I love about buying severely mismanaged facilities is the upside of the deal, right? It just takes so much time to get to that point. You just have to be patient, but you do. And we, on all of our properties, we triple or, we double or triple the value of the property within like 2 to 3 years. And we'll do the same thing with these as well too. Okay. Okay. Also, any questions on, I went over everything, I think. And any questions? And in the meantime, I'll just remind you to go to the Self-Storage Fund of America portal, log in, right? And then this is where you're going to look at the PPM. You're going to look at all the documents and the supporting documents. This is where everything I just went over is all right here under supporting documents. Okay. And then also here's the subscription. And all in the step-by-step process, if you do decide to. And if you need to meet with me on Zoom and talk to me or set an appointment, just let me know as well too, okay? Any thoughts, any questions? You can unmute yourself or put them in the chat. Nothing? No questions? Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And Anne is on my team. She's going to reach out to you and introduce herself, and she'll send you over the replay, the financial model, and thing you need as well too, the link to the portal as well too. Okay. If you have any questions, you can ask her as well too. And she has access to my calendar, so she could book something if you need to. Okay. All right. I wish you guys the best holiday for Memorial Day and summer. Okay. Take care.